I know suicide is a difficult topic to talk about. So many of our viewers asked for more information that we at Insight decided to follow up with Julie and Tony. Tell us more. What is QPR training?
QPR is a training for anyone to learn. It's basically learn those warning signs. Once you know what some of the warning signs are, how do you question? That's what the Q is. How do you persuade them to get help? And then you refer them. Who are we going to refer them to in this community? And that's basically what it is. We do that training in about an hour and a half. And it's just basically some really groundwork training that has really already saved lives here in Pierre.
Who should take this training? In my experience, it's always somebody else's job. We want to put it on a school counselor, we want to put it on a nurse or somebody like that, but really, I can't think of anybody in the town that wouldn't benefit from this training.
It really truly takes a community to prevent suicide. Each and every one of us needs to get involved. The more you know someone, the more you'll know what those warning signs are, because really it's a change in their behavior. So we need everyone, grandma, grandpas, friends, kids are wonderful. If someone is struggling with suicide, the person that they're going to let know about those warning signs are the person that they trust the most. So usually it's a very good friend that they're going to let know about that. And you could pick up on those warning signs, and then you could go right into that conversation. And that's basically really what it is. Are you having thoughts of suicide? And it's such an important question that we need to ask.
Is there a myth that we should break up here today that we could address, maybe that this only affects a certain socioeconomic group, or that it's only something that affects young people or old people or something like that? Is there anything, any truth to any of that, or is suicide something that affects everyone?
Suicide really affects everyone. Suicide knows no boundaries. It can happen to anyone. I always go back to when Robin Williams. It truly can happen to anyone, and sometimes the people that we think least that would want to complete suicide, those are the ones that will. They have learned to hide and mask their pain. So even the happiest person that we think is so happy could be hurting so much inside. So really, it knows no boundaries. It can happen to anyone.
I know several businesses and institutions have brought you in to do training and all that. If someone listening today is interested in learning more about this and the type of training that you offer, who should they contact and how do they set it up?
They could get a hold of me by calling my direct line, which is 224-3451, or they could email me at julie.moore, M-O-O-R-E, @avera.org.
Thank you again for your time and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Patrick.
Sergeant Tony Maunu with the South Dakota Highway Patrol. Sergeant, tell me a little bit about the law enforcement role in suicide prevention. Has really changed over the years, and it's much more about prevention now than at any other time in the history of law enforcement. Tell me a little bit about that change in the modern way of thinking about this.
Well, the modern way of thinking is this is a community problem, community issue, and we need collaboration from many different people in society to prevent it. Before we'd take somebody directly to jail. Now we really try to find out what's going on in their head and get them the help that they need. We've got a lot more training on the law enforcement side in de-escalation and in dealing with those that are dealing with substance abuse or having mental health issues, and effective ways to speak with those people.
And I know that you also work on our local steering committee here, advising and talking about different issues that are very local to us, but really you can apply them anywhere in South Dakota or anywhere in the U.S. So it's good to have that perspective on the committee.
That's right. Yeah, we've got education is one of our hottest focus, our hottest topics right now. We have Facebooks, we've got posters that you'll see in and about the community. We really want the community as a whole to embrace the training and the same type of learning that the law enforcement has. We want the community members to know what to look for.
We were talking with Julie earlier that, for a long time it seemed like this was somebody else's problem. We were talking about somebody else's kids, somebody else's family, and we put the responsibility for dealing with it on other people. A lot of times we put it on law enforcement, maybe the school guidance counselor, but I think your message here is it's really all of us that need to be working on this.
It really is. It's my issue, it's your issue, it's the viewer's issue. We all need to stand shoulder to shoulder in order to prevent suicide.
You and your officers are on the front lines. Do you see a message of hope here?
We absolutely do. And that's really what should resonate with the committee, with the Walk of Hope, is that as a community we can fix this. As a community we can be instrumental in preventing suicide.
Thank you for your time and all your work.
Appreciate that.
The time to learn about suicide prevention techniques is after you need to know. Make the call. Let Julie know at Avera St. Mary's Foundation. She'll line up training, classes, or just come and speak to your group or organization. Just make the call.